Hello, America. Dave Galvin reporting again. Here I am. But now, instead of being stuck in Corvallis, look where I am. I'm home. Elks Park, Malino, Oregon. I'll tell you. You can sort of see my rig right there. And there's my minivan. Anyway, so I did another one of these videos yesterday morning. Okay, let's backtrack a little bit more. I am recording this. What's the date? It is I don't even know. 19th of July. So it's Wednesday, the 19th of July. I probably won't get this uploaded until Thursday, the 20th. I did one of these videos yesterday, the 18th, and I went to upload it, and the Wi-Fi at that Benton County Fairgrounds wasn't really great. And it was a 10-minute video, and if you know anything about bandwidth, it just took forever. So I'm going to go ahead and fill you in on what's happened since the last time I spoke to you. This whole thing was the fault. I blame the Good Sam Club. The Good Sam Club is kind of like AAA, but it's for RVs. But the cool thing about Good Sam Club is we paid for it for our RV, and it also covers our vehicles as well. So if we get stranded with our vehicles, we can call them and they'll come take care of it. So we should have signed up for it prior to actually leaving. And my computer's telling me stuff. Prior to actually leaving, we should have signed up for it. Okay, we did. Big mistake. Okay, so here's the deal. Before you leave for a trip in an RV, make sure you have like Good Sam Club or AAA or something, anything, in case something like this happens. So we were driving along, just having fun. I had Lily to my right and my wife in a minivan behind us, and all of a sudden the engine starts to go goofy. As soon as at 55 miles an hour, we've got no power. It's like, what the heck's going on? And I pull over to the side of the freeway. I stop for a minute. I turn it on. I'm like, oh, maybe it's a fluke. Let me dream. And it's just every time we go to 55 miles per hour, the engine, you can't get power to it. You're pressing the gas, and then the engine's revving, but the wheels aren't turning. So long of that short, we ended up in Corvallis, Oregon, after some help with the Corvallis Elks. Thank you again. Thank you, Corvallis Elks. You guys were wonderful to us. Anyway, we ended up at the Benton County Fairgrounds because it was a place to... I could limp in with this thing, but I wasn't doing a lot of really heavy speed. But we limped in. They had power. They had water for the RV, so I was okay. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll sleep. I'll deal with this in the morning when it's sunlight and I've had a fresh good night's sleep. I wake up the next morning and my kids look at me and say, Daddy, guess what? We got a flat tire. Yay! And I'm like... So I talked to my neighbor in the RV next to me. I pull out the jacks that came with the RV. I've only had this thing for like a month and a half now. I pull out the jacks, and these jacks look like they wouldn't lift a Geo Metro. I'm no joke, let alone a 1-ton vehicle. So Deshaun and I are like, well, maybe we can do this, and maybe we can do a little bit of that. Maybe we can work some magic. And I crawl underneath it, and it looks like the other tire's flat. Oh, wow. I had a full head of hair before I started this trip. No joke. So Deshaun gets on the phone. She calls Good Sam Club. She gets the information on the internet, and she signs up, blue, blue, blue. And then it says, thank you for joining Good Sam Club. You are wonderful people. We've got your money. And now you got to wait 48 hours before you can use it. And we're like, what? So here was the funny thing. Here was the thing that I thought was really interesting. Good Sam Club took the $69.97 or whatever it was, the $70, let's say, out of my account. That moment, it was out of my account. And I could see it on my phone. I check my phone like 60 million times a day to make sure. I don't know. I'm just paranoid. I check my bank account all the time. So that the money was out of my account, but we didn't have a Good Sam membership at this point. Now, I didn't understand what was going on. Why did it take this? Is it 1974 and nobody bothered to tell me? I had no idea what was going on. All I know is we were stranded in Corvallis. Now, Corvallis turned out to be actually a pretty decent town to be stranded in. I really dug it there. Everybody was super cool. I really liked the Benton County Fairground RV Park. I thought it was pretty good for the price. $40 a night. We got our own dedicated power, our own dedicated water, our dedicated sewage line. If our RV was hooked up for cable, we would have had cable TV. But we actually didn't have cable TV. So I went to, what was it? It was Bi-Mart. I think it was Bi-Mart. It doesn't matter. I went to, no, it was Kmart. I went to Kmart. This brand new place I've never heard of called Kmart. So I went to Kmart and I got one of them digital antennas and I said, oh, there's a $15 one. I'll get me one of these suckers. And it turns out the $15 one is only if you need to have an antenna when you're within 30 miles of the broadcast antenna that the stations have. We're in Corvallis. There ain't nothing within 30 miles. Nothing. So I got this thing, and we didn't even get TV in Corvallis. It was awful. Now that we're hooked up here, I set the TV to scan, and it was able to find CBS. So we've got 3 CBS stations, KOIN Channel 6, and there are 2 little affiliates. One's an oldie station, and one's a not slightly less oldie station. I can watch reruns of Designing Women. Anyway, where was I? Okay, Corvallis was a great place. You know what, Corvallis, you treated us wonderfully. I really enjoy. I will never say anything bad about you. We've been working all this time in Malala. If Malala disappeared tomorrow, I wouldn't care. I mean, seriously, all the hillbilly and hucksters. I saw a kid who was turned 18 a few months ago, and he had this big old wad of chewing tobacco in his teeth. And one person actually asked my extremely black wife if it's true black people can't swim. I mean, seriously, they were looking at my wife like she was an alien. Malala, Oregon, I dislike you very much. If I ever have to go back, I will scream. Okay. Back to Corvallis. Love you, Corvallis. You're a great group of people. Now, we're stranded in Corvallis, and we can't call Good Sam Club. I'm getting pissed. I'm on my phone tweeting the whole thing, and I'm sending it to @GoodSamClub. I'm sending it to @TheCampingWorld because they own Good Sam Club. I'm also sending it to @Marcus Lemonis, who is the guy who has a few television shows over on CNBC. He always seemed like a cool guy. He's one of the co-owners of Camping World. So, and through lineage, he also is one of the owners of the Good Sam Club. And I was very bitter about the whole thing. Camping World, somewhere out of the blue, erased the debit out of my checking account, as though it never happened. What's going on here, is what I said. I had no idea. I'm just looking around. Is anyone going to come help us? What do we have to do? For the record, it came back late last night. Late last night. Now, at around 10:45 yesterday morning, exactly 48 hours, boom, we have access to Good Sam Club. My wife, she can work a phone like nobody's business. She pushes a button. She talks to somebody. Approximately an hour and a half later, the nicest guy in the world shows up from Eugene. He owns a company. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something I don't ever do. Let me see if I can get this picture on here. I'm going to show you a picture. You see that? It's called Mark's Towing, Eugene, Corvallis area. Seriously, if you're in the area and you need something, this is the guy to call. Mark's Towing and Roadside Service, 541-337-1821. This guy came in and had the tire changed in a matter of minutes. Man, he schooled me. But this guy knew what he was doing, and he had the most amazing equipment. He was telling me the generator he's got in the back of his truck was $4,000, and the pneumatic drill he uses is yet another $200. So anyway, he had the equipment, he had the knowledge, he had the know-how. He came in and did it. Just the nicest guy in the world. Strongly recommend this guy. He's wonderful. Wonderful. Well, don't have anything bad to say about this guy. Nicest man. Unfortunately, he could not assist us with our engine problem, which I'm actually going to tackle here once I'm done with this video, which is probably why I'm stalling so much. I don't want to deal with it. So, we get that going. We get up on the road. I start the RV. She starts up. Everything seems fine. So, we need to get gas. So I said, well, let's just head to the freeway. We'll stop off at the gas station. So I got Lily sitting next to me. It's 93 degrees. I mean, it's hot. Now, the inside of that rig where you're driving does not have any working air conditioning. I have to swap out all the air conditioning, compressor, and everything. And upgrade it to whatever this new stuff is. It's not too high on my priority list. So we get to almost the gas station, and the engine does it again. Exactly like it did before. It just did it again. And I'm like, bugger. So we get to the gas station. I put gas in the RV. I put gas in the minivan. My wife and I are talking. I'm like, what are we going to do? And so she comes up with the idea. She's like, well, let's set our GPSs to not go on the freeway or any major highway. I said, we can do that? Holy cow! That's a thing? So, that's what we did. It took us twice as long to get home, but we didn't have to deal with any of the freeway stuff. The engine seems to cut out when it gets really warm and then when it hits around 55 miles per hour. That's what I did. I got really warm and didn't go to 55 miles per hour. I was on the back roads doing between 40, maybe 50, depending on where I was. But for the most part, it was nice and chill. I only had problems once. When we were entering Malala, I gunned it just to see what it would do, and it died. Drinking root beer out of a big-ass mason jar. So, we limped back into Elks Park last night, and it's just like, oh, thank God, we're home. We're home. Because this is where we, this is where we camp. This is where we hang out. 3 nights a week we're here during the summer now. And we can sort of see smoke in the background. That's from my campfire. We're going to be roasting weenies here in a bit for lunch and some dinner. But everything's back where it was. So we're back where we were. We are home, and we are safe, and thank you to everyone who texted and called. And one guy sent a pigeon. It was really nice of you. Thank you. Thank you to my friends. I appreciate the help. In the meantime, I need to get a better antenna. I want more than designing women on TV. In the meantime, I need to get a better hose. The hose I have, actually, I ran over with my lawnmower. I got a bit of a leak in it. Every time I go to use the water's gushing out the side. I'm like, oh, Jesus. But we're enjoying ourselves, and we're talking about what we can do for next month, for August. Because we want to go somewhere, but someplace not so far away. We're thinking about this estate sale that we will be doing in Staten, which is about an hour south of me, give or take. I'm like, well, let's just camp. What the hey? We've got the RV. Let's do it. We could stay on this road at 35 miles an hour. What's the big deal? Anyway, that's the bottom line, and that's pretty much what happened. We're just sitting here and sort of dreading tomorrow when we got to go back to real life. Real life is horrible. Well, that's it, America. I hope you are well. I hope everything's fine, and hope you're enjoying yourself this summer. And I will update you whenever I feel like getting around to it.